All right, so welcome everyone. I think I know most of you on here, but I'm Leslie Banis, Director of Programs at the Community Foundation, and we wanted to talk today about the Philanthropy Hub and what happens now. So we also have with us Barzella Papas on the call too. So she's on mute, but she may unmute and talk to us in a little bit, but wanted to get started and try to get done in 30 minutes talking about what happens now that your hub profiles are resetting. So first, I want to put something in the chat, because if you get completely lost today, please note that we will do one-on-one calls with you. There is a sign up in the chat that while we're talking today, if you are completely lost, confused, don't want to ask your question, please feel free to click that sign up link and register. If we have too many people register and there's not enough time slots for a one-on-one call next week, then we'll add some more slots, but it's not required to do a one-on-one, but I wanted to offer that before I get started. So if you feel overwhelmed while we're talking, I don't want you to panic. So let's dive right in. All right, so let's see. So today, or actually technically tomorrow, your Philanthropy Hub comes we'll go back into what we call re-verification pending. And so what that means, and let me do this so we can see this page. What that means is that your profile has expired. So you'll need to go into the back office, which we're going to dive into in a few minutes in your dashboard, and we're going and show you what you need to update. I want to tell you that you definitely want to make sure that you update everything, because we did add a few questions. We did take away a few questions in the hub based off of your feedback. And so can I get everybody to mute, please? We're getting some feedback. Thanks, guys. So once you are go through and you update everything, I say that it should probably take no more than 30 minutes. Hopefully more like 15 minutes, but no more than 30 minutes to update everyone for those of you that have already been verified. Then once you are out of the re-verification pending, you can submit for re-verification. And then once it takes about 72 hours. I'll be honest, it will probably, with the holiday coming up and the long weekend, it will probably take to the end of next week, if not beginning of the following week. So please give us a little more than 72 hours for the first week. And then you'll become verified, which means you are back up to verification. Hopefully many of you, and guys, if you could mute, I'm getting a little bit of feedback. Thank you. Hopefully you've been on the hub in the last 2 months, because there is a new layout, which we're going to dive into, and it definitely looks more clean based off of your feedback. We have moved the logo into the center to instead of on the side. There's been a couple new things with the layout, so hope that you have been able to see that. So I want to stop sharing and go and share. Let's see, make sure I get the right thing. I want to share. Can everyone see? I want to go back into the profile so everybody can see. Some thumbs up. Perfect. So from here, I want to show you the new layout. So this is what the new layout looks like. And as we're scrolling, you can see that the check mark is here as it's verified. This check mark this afternoon will turn into an X, which means your profile has expired. Once you have been re-verified, you will get the check mark back. And so you can see the new layout, nothing dramatic, just the colors changed a little bit, a lot less going on. So it definitely looks more clean. Again, your contact will follow you to every page. And when you have to update, we will go through these. You want to make sure you update each tab. And you can see and go through all the tabs, make sure each tab is updated. Now, if you've been on the hub since yesterday, your dashboard has changed slightly. So this is now what your dashboard looks like. So this actually happened yesterday. You can see GiveGab has updated their logo slightly. And it just, nothing major has changed, just more of the look of it. But everything is still in the same place. You'll see at the top, this is the Community Foundation's dashboard. So you'll be in your own dashboard. And I'm going to flip back, because remember, if you need to log in, you go to menu, log in, and this login will take you to your page when you log in. You can always click forgot password if you don't know your password. And please note that if you don't know your password and something's going wrong, the Community Foundation cannot reset passwords, only GiveGab can. So if you need your password reset, and it's not working when you click reset password, you're going to need to reach out to this blue chat bubble right here and reach out to them. It'll say, hi, your name, or even if you're not logged in, you can still go on this chat bubble and talk to GiveGab and they can help you. If you email me, I'm going to forward it to GiveGab. So feel free to email me, but just know that the Community Foundation cannot reset passwords. So again, when we're in right here, you'll see your verification. You'll see that my profile expired today. So I want to make sure that I get everything updated in my profile before I press submit. So as I'm going through each tab, I want to make sure my overview tab, probably not much has changed in the overview tab. Your mission history, excuse me, probably not much has changed. Now I'm sure some of your management tabs have changed. Remember that your management tab, that if you have a full-time paid director, that a full-time paid executive director and full-time staff, and we'll scroll down to this one, make sure you update that. We want to update your demographics. We want to update the number of employees. You want to update all of that in management. Same thing with this governance tab. We want to update if you have a new board chair, any board members, if any of them completed training last year, you want to update the demographics, and then any of this information that might be different. Now, it's very, very, very important that this right here is actually very important. So this one, actually, I'm going to change it. The Community Foundation actually isn't currently seeking board members, but I'm just pretending we are for the sake of this tutorial. That if your organization is seeking new board members, these are 2 new questions that are going to be blank and you're going to need to complete. So you're going to click yes or no. And it's important because if you click yes, you're going to want to fill out what kind of experience you're looking for. Now you can make this as custom as you want. I made up something saying accounting experience needed. You could put, we need someone that has community connections, or if you're a healthcare organization, we need somebody with experience in mental health, or whatever that might be. You can customize that. And that's important because there's now a new feature on the Philanthropy Hub that if you go here, now I'm outside of the Community Foundation page. I'm on the general Philanthropy Hub page. If you click right here, show board members or show organizations looking for board members, and I click search, anyone that has marked yes is going to show up. So as a community member, I can then click on any of these organizations and I can see what they put. I can see what they put right here. And so from here, I could read through those and I can say, oh, well, I have accounting experience, and I can then reach out to that organization and say, I see you're looking for board members with accounting experience. I have accounting experience. I'd like to meet with you. And so from here, it really helps what we're calling our board connect, to connect community members. So that's why it's so important under the governance tab, under the governance tab, that you fill these 2 questions out that are new questions, and that you'll see why they're required, because they are going to link back to that. So that's a new feature. So one of the next big things is in the financial tab, we are going to have a new requirement this year. And that new requirement is that you'll see here, the Community Foundation's page does not have 2020, because the 2020, even though we have filed our 2020 990, because this information is pulled directly from the IRS is backlogged right now. So this information is not uploading. So you have to have, when it says your most recent 990, when we click on this and it pops up, it has, well, and that one will pop up in a minute, but it has to be your 2020 990, whether it's your 990 postcard, 990 EZ form, the long 990 form, which we'll talk about in a minute, has to be uploaded there, even if it did not import from the IRS website, in order to be verified. So that's different than last year. We said your most recent, it needs to be your 2020 990. If that is going to be an issue or you have some type of extension, please email the Community Foundation so we can know that. But I would say that almost all of you should have some type of filing for 2020. Again, for the audited and reviewed financials, please note that this is only if you have an outside auditing firm. If you upload your P&L or your balance sheet, we're going to take it off. This is only if you had an outside audited firm complete your financials and do a review or an audit to your financials. So one thing new you're going to see this year, this go around, is under foundation comments, we're going to be posting here whatever your 2020 revenue as reported on your IRS Form 990 is right here. And so you'll see the community foundations is there. We're going to be putting that for everyone. If you completed a 990N or a 990EZ, we will be putting there what that means so that a community member on the Philanthropy Hub will know what that means. If you're an organization that files a religious exemption and does not complete that, we will also be putting that in the details so that someone on your page will understand why you didn't have 990 financials and understand what that means. Sorry. Any questions? Okay. Sorry, guys, coughing from talking about used to talking so much. So the programs tab has remained the same. You just make sure any new programs are updated. Same thing with development, not much has changed here. You just want to make sure it's updated. And in the more detailed section, you shouldn't have to update much from this except for your state solicitation permit. And so again, you'll see right now that the Community Foundations permit expires this month. So I'll be uploading our new permit. And we're going to talk about this in a minute, but once your state permit does expire, your profile will expire until you upload a new one. So now there are two things that will make your profile expire. As soon as your permit expires, your Philanthropy Hub profile will expire until you upload a new one. So that could be a day if you upload a new one, but you will receive an email that your permit's out of date. You need to upload a new one before you're able to go, before you are able to get your profile back in good standing and verified. Just make sure that your state charitable solicitation permit is filed. If you do have a state religious exemption for filing that permit, we'll be noting that in the notes, and you won't have to do it. You won't have anything to do there. And then of course, the second thing is your profile is good for 1 year. So in next January, it will expire, or when your solicitation expires. When you do upload your new solicitation, your expiration date doesn't go for a full year. It goes back to that January 15th date of 2023 or whenever you were able to get verified. So those are the biggest changes. I'm going to stop sharing really quick. And I wanted to go back to the slide presentation and talk about some highlights that we just talked about. So you must have the 2020 IRS 990. Your revenue must match your 2020 990, and that will be what the Community Foundation puts in that notes section on the finance page. So we do have a new something called in review. So it's not pending re-verification. So this in review is what happens when your solicitation and contribution expires. So in review will give you an X on your profile, but it will let you know that you'll receive an email saying you're in review because your solicitation of contributions has expired. And that should be something pretty quickly that you're able to update and get back in good standing, back in a verified format on the Hub. Again, the foundation comments on the financial tab, we just talked about this. If you do the long night, if you filled out the long 990, we will be reporting your revenue number. If you filled out the 990EZ, we're going to explain what that means. Here's the definition from the IRS of those who filled out an EZ form. If you filled out a 990N, there's the definition of the 990N that we will be putting directly from the IRS website. So that way, anyone on the website understands what that means and why you don't have that information reported. What's new? Profile layout, the dashboard layout. And we did add quite a number of additional resources to the nonprofit training tab on the Philanthropy Hub. If you go to the menu and you drop down, there's frequently asked questions. We update that often based off of your feedback. We talked about this Board Connect governance tab, so make sure you're answering these questions. Are you currently seeking board members and what qualifications? So here's another example. This is you could make it more broad. Your board prospect must demonstrate leadership, passion for your mission. This is somebody I took from an organization that says helping girls overcome obstacles and achieve their full potential. So, that's just another sample. If you're really just looking for community volunteers, for board members, or if you have something specific need, make sure you are, and if you do put no here, you will not appear on that tab when we ask. Your organization would not appear. So additional resources like we just talked about. We also have the chat bubble we talked about. Please utilize the chat bubble. GiveGab is great about responding to that chat bubble. I always say go to the chat bubble first. If they can't help you right away, then you can email GiveGab or email me. And we will try to get back to you as quickly as possible. A couple of side notes before we get into specific questions. I wanted to briefly bring up the Amazing Give because registration opens on February 1st. You must be verified in the hub to register for the Amazing Give. So you will not get the link to register for Amazing Give unless your profile is verified in the hub. Hopefully you all saw about our t-shirt design contest. If you haven't, go find the Amazing Give Facebook page or the Community Foundation Facebook page where we have more details on this t-shirt design contest. So that's one of our first prizes is the design contest. Wanted to quickly announce FPRA is looking to partner with a nonprofit to provide marketing and public relations support to a nonprofit during the Amazing Give. I know that link at the bottom you don't have, but that's okay. If you go join the Facebook group for Amazing Give, if you type in Amazing Give Nonprofit Partners, you will be able to find our Facebook page and find everything about how to apply for FPRA and how to do the t-shirt contest. For Center for Nonprofit Excellence, our first big training of the year is next week on strategic planning. It is a workshop. We will put the link in the chat in a few minutes for those of you that want to register for the strategic planning workshop. Shameless plug. We're going to get out information about C&E while I have you guys on the call. So back to the Philanthropy Hub before we take questions is my biggest rule is please do not get frustrated. Use the chat bubble, email GiveGab, their customer success, customer support, either one of those, givegab.com, email the Community Foundation, or sign up for that one-on-one link that's in the chat, which we can re-put back in the chat as well. So don't get frustrated. We're here to help. It should not be a frustrating process. All right, now I'm going to stop sharing. I see some questions in the chat. Let's see. So the one-on-ones, we can definitely add that. So someone said, I understand a formal audit is not required to participate in the Philanthropy Hub, an Amazing Gift. That's correct. It is not required, but we did want to give a place for those that do have a formal audit. We wanted to give them the opportunity to share that on their Philanthropy Hub page, but it is not a requirement to be verified. I see Nancy's answering some questions too. So I did get a private message here saying that some people have they're in the midst of an audit. That's okay. If you update, if your audit is maybe a year prior because you're still working on an audit, that's okay. It's more important that that Form 990 from the IRS is 2020. You can start updating your profiles. You can actually start doing it now, but you're not going to be able to submit until your profile goes out of verification, which technically happens tomorrow. But what I was planning on doing is making that happen today. So as soon as this call's over, we're going to go in there and today, in probably the next hour, you'll get an email that you are placed back in pending re-verification. And this will allow you to then go and press submit. So some of you, starting as early as last week, started updating stuff, but you can start updating now, and then you can't press submit until you are actually placed out of verification. So Jane's giving FPRA a shout out for what they did for Family Promise last year. So for Amazing Gifts. So thank you, Jane. So this presentation will be available after the check-in. We'll put it on the menu tab that's called trainings for the Philanthropy Hub. We'll put this tab, this video recording there, as well as the slides. We do quarterly check-ins every quarter, so we'll go ahead and add all of the check-ins for the rest of the year. For those of you that have questions, you can come back each quarter. We do a quick training. Usually this is our longest one, and they usually get down to about 15 minutes as the year goes on in case anyone has any questions. Brett giving a shout out for using Philanthropy Hub donations. So you can certainly accept donations to Philanthropy Hub year round. Make sure that it's going to your correct bank account and all that information is accurate. But you shouldn't have to update that if your bank account has not changed. And that is also optional. Some organizations choose not to use the donate tab. That is not something that will affect your verification within the hub. Yes, so that's a good question. Your story. So for a quick question that someone had about Amazing Give, when you go in, you are able to copy previous profiles. I will say that you saw the new layout for the Philanthropy Hub page. That new layout is, will also translate over to the Amazing Give. So the new layout with the logo in the middle of your profile picture, that does translate to the Amazing Give page. Will look slightly different this year. And most of that I said was based off of your feedback of many of you getting frustrated that the logo was right over your pictures. So that has been changed. But again, the only difference will be that for the Amazing Give. All right, and feel free to unmute if you have any more specific questions. Give you guys a few minutes if there's any more questions. We can put the, let's see, we can put the link for the, I'm putting the link for the strategic planning workshop in there. But first I want to put that one-on-one link back in there for any of you looking to sign up for the one-on-ones. So that link is in there first. I'm happy to talk to your organization, have a 15-minute Zoom call where we can go through your hub and work on it with the Community Foundation. Many of you found that helpful last year, so we'd love to do it again. I put the link in there for the strategic planning workshop is now in the chat. And if I'm not going to put the link to the Facebook page in the chat, but if you are on Facebook and you search Amazing Give Nonprofit Partners, ask to join that group. So it's called Amazing Give Nonprofit Partners. And once you ask to join, we'll let you in, and any detail about the Amazing Give will be on that page. Well, we appreciate all of you joining us on this Friday morning and getting your Philanthropy Hub profiles back updated. Sort of our first big push for the profile updates. Hopefully many of you were able to join us for the data presentation in October, where we shared the data that you're putting into the hub and how it affects our community, how it affects our data, what information we've been able to pull. It has been huge what we've been able to show and share with funders in the community, and what we've been able to share with the nonprofits in our community. And so soon you'll be able to see that data in the training tab on the Philanthropy Hub that we shared in October. So really valuable information that you are sharing with us. And I can tell you that donors and funders are going through the Philanthropy Hub. They're making donations directly from the Philanthropy Hub. It's definitely been a great tool for our community. So thank you all for filling the information out and keeping it updated. Give it a few more minutes for any questions. Well, the last thing I'll put in the chat is my email. So many of you have it because we've been communicating about the workshop, but if not, it's there. You can send me an email to ask your question. I know it's a large group to ask questions on. So if you want to ask any questions, let us know. And for those of you that are watching this recording, after it's over, we're going to make sure that all these links we have shared will be available for you to click under the video.